And now, coming to you by way of some high-tech, fancy pants media streaming technology, recorded live and direct from the decentralized studios of YashHarari.com. It's Blockchain Marketing Insights with your host, Yashar Harari.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Marketing Insights. And, this might be the last video you see in 2018, if you're like in, I think, California or Hawaii or somewhere in that area. Or it might be the first video about marketing you've watched in 2019. In which case, Happy New Year again. May you have an awesome 2019. May all of your marketing campaigns succeed, and may you have the most amazing insights about marketing this year, better than ever before. All right, folks, I just wanted to mention to you that in the world of marketing and blockchain, 2019 is set to be an amazing year. And why do I say that? Well, I think that in the world of marketing and blockchain, we're sitting at a very, very interesting time when we now have this month, if you're 2019, or next year if you're still in 2018, but this month, for those of us already in 2019, we are supposedly going to see things like updates to the Trezor Nano wallets to make sure that they're not vulnerable to the hack that was published on wallet.fail. Although it has to be said again that the minimum, that the risk of being hacked via that way is relatively small compared to so many other ways to hack people's information. So I think that's going to be one very useful and practical update for people in the market who have hardware wallets, who are extra paranoid, but also it'll be good to put that silly story to rest about that hack, because as impressive as it was, it's, again, something that's so unlikely, and hopefully the firmware fixes will fix those issues for the wallet makers. The second thing that I think is going to be great about 2019 is why it's going to be awesome to see Bitmain evolve to the next step. Now that Jihan Wu has been demoted, I always take promotions and demotions in China with several grains of salt. For any of you in China, my apologies, but seriously, your policies of letting an autocratic dictatorship, raise people, destroy people, do the same thing for their companies and all that, I think it's kind of horrendous. And it's ironic that they're so pro-capitalist, but it makes sense in many ways because they need it. The pro-capitalist Maoists of China, or whatever you want to call them. I think China is going to be an amazing place to see lots of developments in 2019. I just don't think it's the place I really want to be very much at all. And I think that the Chinese government has a lot of evolving to do vis-a-vis its stance on crypto. And specifically regarding Bitmain, what happens in the world of marketing if Bitmain, I doubt it's going to go under. Although if it did, that would be interesting. Will we see a resurgence to making mining more profitable for people who are kind of hobbyist miners again? Like back in the good old days of crypto? Or are we more likely to see companies like Bitmain and other manufacturers of ASIC miners and other kind of, miner, like, focused devices, Are we going to see more of those companies rising with products that are maybe available at a lesser price for the average consumer who wants to get into mining, but maybe doesn't have the thousands of dollars that was required before to buy ASICs and all that, and frankly is still required if you want to have a serious operation in mining? We'll see. Maybe mining will be something more hobbyist again for 2019. Although I doubt it. And with the halvening coming up in the next, 400 days, 500 days, whatever it is, it looks like it's going to probably, shake out those who can't handle it and increase the participation of those who can. So keep an eye on that, and keep an eye on all the hardware miners for Bitcoin and other mining operations. In other news that's worthy, Cardano is now supported on Trezor. So if you have a Trezor wallet and you've wanted to put your Cardano somewhere, well, now you can. There is support for Cardano on Trezor, and it comes from a team called Emergo. And the folks at Emergo basically developed the integration for the wallet with Cardano. And there are a lot of, I guess you'd say, noteworthy features in this development, especially in terms of hirings and in terms of development of utilities, development of clients, software clients. I mean, this change of Cardano being supported by Trezor, it's more than just that they added the ability to have another currency on their wallet. Yes, we know that. They've also baked in, it is winter. They've baked in some additional things into their press release, let's just say, that were more than, oh, hey, we support this, crypto on our wallet now. They also talked about things you can expect in the next few months. And these are some of the reasons that it's really actually exciting if you love Cardano and, whatever they're doing. Or if you don't, if you're just interested in them, or you can't stand them and you want to see reasons why they're going to be great in the next year and you have more reasons to hate them, well, here's a good list. They're going to be developing in the next few quarters an advanced user mode, right? That gives you terminal access to various tasks. There's going to be Firefox web support, right? Firefox web browser support, so that you can actually use what's called Haskell within the Firefox web browser environment. And they're also going to have a defragger for your blockchain utilities, right, to check the integrity, etc. So that's interesting, because since when do you need to defrag your blockchain, and what does that entail exactly? Future episode might investigate. But in terms of marketing, if you think that marketing Cardano is going to get any less noisy in the next year, I think the folks at Cardano are going to definitely disagree. They're making pretty big efforts, pretty impressive efforts to keep their noise alive. On that note, I'm making efforts to keep noise alive about a whole bunch of other projects. As you guys know, it's now 2019, and one of my favorite crypto projects is Ethlight, right? And you know that because Ethlight is also doing a lot of things in 2019 that I think are very exciting for crypto. Ethlight crypto, it's a rare coin. Right? 10 million coins max supply. You're never going to see more than that. And they're going to burn. So it's going to be less than 10 million coins. I mean, that's already, we're talking a rare coin. Additional to that, right? Ethlight crypto is all about community. Like what the community needs and wants is actually important to the cryptocurrency and to the project and to the team that runs it. Why and how does that matter? Well, if, let's say, the community, in general, was headed in one direction and the team had a completely different vision, but understood that the community's vision is actually the primary driver because it gives the vision to where this leads by enacting the actual life of the coin, right? Because they are the ones buying and selling it. That means that the priority, yes, it's a neutral coin, just like Bitcoin or whatever, doesn't have any preference in that sense. The priority of the people running the mission at Ethlight is always and entirely about figuring out the best way to deliver the things that the actual people in the community need, right? And why does that matter? Well, because the people in the community are people who need better financial services, right, than they're already getting. Or, I mean, obviously the investors, the hodlers, they're people who want the crypto. I get that. Talking about the actual people who are going to use the token once it's on the market, that actually, they can get real substantive value out of these things. And in 2019, you're going to see more and more of these features adopted by Ethlite and available to people at large. Things like the crypto exchange wallet that lets you exchange back and forth between cryptos. The Ethlite crypto wallet, basically. The Ethlite crypto fiat debit card. It's like a hybrid debit card, right? You can use crypto to pay fiat at stores that don't accept crypto. You can also pay them directly in crypto if they take it. But it's a debit card. It looks just like any other debit card, with the Ethlite logo, etc. Actually, it looks nicer. But it's a debit card, regular size. And you go to a store, swipe it, make your purchase, you're done. And you've just paid with crypto to a store that accepted fiat, right? So that right there, that is something that can change a lot of people's reality. Maybe small at first, but eventually, as you get more and more used to it and spend more and more and more with this type of card, eventually you'll see it's actually just as easy, if not more convenient, than your traditional bank debit card, which only allows you to put in fiat and spend fiat, pretty much, right? If you have a bank that uses crypto, please tell us in the comments below what it is. I'd love to hear it. Love to know what bank you're using that accepts crypto. I know. Charlie Lee bought, and Litecoin bought a bank 2018. I know. But there's not that many banks that accept crypto. So if you're one of the lucky people who uses a bank that accepts crypto, I'd really love to hear it. Let us know in the comments below. And of course, banks, that's the other thing about 2019. What's XRP going to do this year? What about all of its prognosticators that keep saying the moon and all these nonsense things? Who cares? The ones who have the practical understanding of how are banks going to benefit by having an XRP cryptocurrency available to literally free up trillions of dollars of capital, and it just sits frozen in banks inside of what are called Nostro and Vostro accounts that are used essentially to send money back and forth between currencies, between customers, between banks. And now 2019 is coming around, and we've seen so much hype, so much, XRP is going to do this and that. What they need is to sign up more banks. So, New Year's resolution for 2019, Ripple team and XRP, I don't know how that works. Make sure you get more banks signed up. The more banks you have signed up, the more you win, right? It's that simple. It's numbers, baby. It's volume. It's all about volume. So that's what I want to say about Ripple in 2019. I think it has massive potential this year. That's right, baby. And could easily see all-time highs maybe this year, maybe next year. But it is possible. I mean, after all, the all-time high was like a couple bucks, like $2.50 or something ridiculous. And it's now at like 30, 40 cents. So it isn't as if it's an impossible number. I mean, Bitcoin has to go up thousands and thousands of dollars to reach its all-time highs. XRP has to go up a couple bucks. And I know. It's price per token, et cetera, et cetera. There's billions of tokens. Is it worth it? I get it. But it isn't impossible to go up to a price it already had, right? And it isn't impossible for it to go up from there, right? Right. And the developments so far have been pretty good, right? Right. So, like, we've seen Ripple sign up bank after bank. We still have some naysayers talking FUD about Ripple and hating Ripple and all this. I get it. That's fine. I get it. But you also have the people who are talking it up and saying this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I get that too. Where is the actual delivery? That's what's going to matter. How many banks are going to sign up to this thing? Don't just invite Brad Garlinghouse on another TV show and ask him, hey, how many banks are you going to sign up of the year? And then let him get away with, we don't know. Because he doesn't know. I get it. But targets, you want a couple dozen? You want a couple hundred? What? In theory, they don't have to even have a couple hundred to make it a success, right? A dozen or 2 dozen major banks, like if Citibank and Wells Fargo and Bank of America and Barclays Bank, whatever. Pick 3 other major banks. If they decided that's it, they're done with Swift and they're just going to switch over to XRP, or they're going to just start using XRP and phase out Swift, that would be massive. Of course, Citibank's not likely to jump on board right away, neither are a bunch of other major banks because they are they make a fortune on Swift, ironically. Although they also spend a fortune on Swift, and it does lock up a lot of their liquidity. But because they're one of the major primary lenders, right, they have more and better access to cheaper capital than, say, a bank that they lend money to that has less and fewer access to capital, which makes it harder for the smaller banks to compete with the bigger banks, right? Like an uneven, unfair playing field. And that's one of the battles in banking that needs to be addressed in order for crypto in general to have a better and longer term relationship with it. Because traditional banking, it's not just that they don't like crypto. People institutionalized in banks pretty much hate everyone at every other bank. Like, yeah, they're friendly, obviously, face to face, but in terms of business, competition-wise, banks do not like each other, right? It's not even close to, let's say, other industries where there's friendly competition. In banking, yeah, they really don't. Of course, the people do, and people are people, but the organizations and the institutions of the banks have significant differences amongst themselves. And absolutely, although they lobby together on many issues to get the same results from the same central banks that they are beholden to, there are pretty big differences that run through the banks in terms of what they have access to, sort of rights and privileges that they get based on their size, their scope, their reach, etc. So it's definitely an imbalanced and unfair world. And crypto scares the bejesus out of anything that is unbalanced or unfair. Because crypto isn't unbalanced or unfair. Crypto might be awful, slow, might be really complicated, might be something that Grandma Methuselah still doesn't quite understand. Although I bet you there's a Grandma Methuselah somewhere who does. But all the other ones who are still confused by it, they need to know, as wacky as crypto is in its fundamental architecture and design and use and everything, it's still infinitely better than having a bunch of old men sit around and decide what is the future of money for everyone because we feel like printing more or less today. Central banking, it's passé. I mean, I know we all still have to probably deal with it, but it's like people had to still deal with the horse and carriage while there were already cars. There were still horse and carriages running around while there were already cars. It took time. Not forever, but it took 5 years, 10 years. Within 10 years, that's it, no more horse and carriage. But it took 10 years for that to change, once cars, hit mass production. Obviously, cars were around for more than 10 years before there were no more horse and carriage around. But it was within a decade of mass production. And mass production leads to mass adoption, right? Same thing here. We've got mass production in terms of people creating new amazing features on crypto. And once the actual high enough quality, I guess you could say, production lines are built, and they produce these high quality cryptos enough, and arguably they have already been created, well, then you'll start to see more mass adoption. And I would argue that we haven't seen yet the sort of like that of crypto. What does that mean? If you're just listening, I just snapped my fingers. The of crypto is the sort of, in a snap, I get it. It's instant. I get it. It's not hard to understand. It's like fiat. Here's $1, spend it, you're done, right? Here's $1, put it in your pocket, keep it, save it, watch it grow, whatever. You understand what $1 is if you're holding it. I'm not even holding $1. Well, anyway, folks, my point is once crypto is super friendly and fun and easy to use, easy to use, just like it is with your fiat money in your wallet, then you will have mass adoption. And I actually believe 2019 is going to be a year that we see a lot of steps in that direction. Why? Because all of 2018 was about, aside from watching the number go down, whichever way you're watching it go down, it was just going down. Aside from that number going down, 2018 was all about building the future, especially if you're in it for the long term, right? If you're for real in crypto, this year was about building your marketing infrastructure, building your business infrastructure, building your tech infrastructure, building out all your outreach infrastructure, building out your community infrastructure. It was all about building. You got to lay the pipes before you can fill them with fluids or other materials. Same thing. 2018 was building. 2019 is keep building, but they're also going to start releasing new tech, right? And when they release the new tech, the expected advancements in things like Ethereum, in things like Cardano, in things like Bitcoin, maybe XRP. Who knows? The more you see of those kind of developments, Tron has just been growing in terms of numbers. Love him or hate him, Justin Sun, the man who announces an announcement, has managed to see Tron grow, despite all the naysayers and FUD, right? You might not believe in the project. I get it. You might have challenges accepting it for whatever reason. Okay. But it's still growing, right? And that means it still has value to a growing audience and a growing community. And that means it will probably increase in value in the medium to long term. 1 to 5 years, yeah, I think it's pretty solid. Like, you might not like it, but it's probably going to be around 1 to 5 years at least. We'll see. So I want to welcome you all again to 2019. I hope you have an amazing, amazing Happy New Year. And I think that this time, your solar orbit is going to be way more brilliant if you are into crypto marketing, especially, because you're going to have a lot more opportunity this year than you've ever had in 2018 or before, because there's so much more awareness. We're still at the 1% barrier, roughly, 1-2%. But 1 or 2% is like 10 times more than we had 5 years ago. Nobody knew about it then, right? Yes, people did, but very few. Let's say we're at 1% now, 1.5% even. If 2019 can take that 1.5% and convert that, just in terms of marketing, stories, interest, awareness, double that. Just double that. Be 2% or 4%. Next year, double that again. You see where I'm going? In a few years' time, it will be inevitable. That's my 2 cents. Of course, nothing I've said in this video, nothing I'm saying in this video is advice of any financial form. And nothing I'm saying is a security I'm trying to sell you or a coin or anything like that. I'm trying to say I'm absolutely not. Anything I told you about Ethlite or any other project that I'm marketing or things that I'm marketing, like different cryptocurrencies or whatever, projects for different currencies, that's all stuff I do out of my own personal interests. You should not follow the financial advice anyway of anyone you watch on YouTube. And I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm talking about marketing. So if you take a marketer's advice for financial advice, you really should check more things first. But if you want to listen to me about marketing, try it. Test what I'm saying. It works. I want to thank you all again for coming here. It means the world to me. I love it. Every one of you is awesome. You subscribe. You hit the like. You do something or other, share it with people, write about it somewhere. It's just why I make these videos. Really, I make them for myself, and if you enjoy them, that makes it triple extra good with cherries on top. So, folks, I hope this year is going to be even more spectacular than the last, and I hope you'll join us for much, much more insights right here on Marketing Insights, on Blockchain Marketing Insights, on Crypto Marketing Insights, on all the different kinds of marketing insights we got around this world. SEO is coming right at you. SMM, we got more of that. I've run on long enough. You're awesome. Stay on it. I'll see you later. And until then, take care.